Hi guys, and happy 2019. It's been a while. I really miss whenever I can't post, and so this is just like a reunion for me. And it really means so much whenever you guys watch my videos, and just the friendships that I've made out of this have been so amazing, and I love you guys. So with that said, I hope that year 2019 is off to a really good start. Mine came with a fresh chop. I just cut my hair when I was on vacation in Nashville, and Zach is fresh with a cold. So I wanted to tape something before I get it too. I'm doing everything I can to like disinfect everything, get good rest, get both me and him like lots of vitamins. So we're fighting through this, but I still love my hair. It's definitely different, and I'm just trying to figure out different ways that I'm trying to style it now. I think I need to buy a flat iron at this point. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. The girl who cut it is Mary Ellen Sky, who you guys might know from Instagram. She's just somebody that I've followed for years, and it just so happens that she cuts hair. So I went to her because she's amazing. Yeah, so definitely check out her Instagram. I'll leave a link down in the description below. Other than that, there hasn't been too much new with me. I wanted to do a little video about how to make 2019 your year. So these are 8 more or less things that I think that would really help to kickstart anybody's year, and things that I want to be mindful of. I just read a few self-help books too, so I got some of this advice from those. And you guys can follow me on Goodreads, where I just talk through the different books that I've read. Did not hit my goal for the books to read in 2018. I was gonna read 12 and I got to 9 and a half. So, oh well, wah wah. I'm lowering my expectations this year. I have a list of them, they're on my phone. So the first one I wanted to say is to forgive yourself and to forgive other people. So that's 2 very different things, but they're one and the same in the fact that when I feel like I'm not forgiving myself, I usually have like pangs of guilt or like hang-ups of why I didn't do things just right. It sucks even more when it's about another person. Like if I have a hang-up with another person, I want to move past that, and I want to forgive, and I want to let go of things, and not everything is reconcilable, but whenever I can, I want to reach out and make things better, which is not ever comfortable for me to do. But I just want 2019 to be fresh and new, and to just let go of things that I don't need to carry around with me, Next is to set a health goal. It doesn't have to be anything too extreme, but it is really important to make your goals measurable. So what I'm planning to do in 2019, and you guys can do this with me if you'd like, I'm gonna work out every day for 20 minutes. And by workout, it might even be just something very gentle, like a yoga session, which not all yoga sessions are gentle, but something that might not be high intensity workouts. But just hitting that 20-minute goal every day of being mindful of working out, or just doing something. If it's drinking enough water might be a good goal for you. That might just need to be like an actual ounce measurement of something that you can hit every day. But if you want to do the workout thing with me, then you definitely can. I'm doing it for 365 days, so whenever you're watching this, it would just be 365 days from whenever you want to start. That would help me so much to stick to it, is to just have somebody along the ride with me because otherwise I just want to, make sure that I'm going to do that and not let it go. But again, that's like a minimum of 20 minutes a day. That's something I know I can hit every day. It might be more than that if I'm feeling extra spunky, but that's what I really want to do, is a minimum of 20 minutes a day until December 31st will be my last day. And then I'll probably keep going because it's a routine at that point, which brings me to my next point, which is routine. So 2019, if you actually make routines something that you're intentionally doing, then you're gonna get so much further along on any sort of goal that you wanna set for yourself. Having that rhythm, I've heard, really helps with things that you might be struggling with, like depression. A lot of times routine can really help just have that stability in your day. And I know that that would help me so much to just have stability, and probably more energy too, to just wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends, and just go to bed, set a really mindful time to go to bed and wake up refreshed. That brings me to a book that I just read, which is I'm not going to get the title right, but it's something to do with waking up at 5 a.m. and how that can really help to get up and get going and to knock some things off of your checklist that you really want to do every day and not miss out on that quiet time in the morning. So I'll link you guys down in the description to that book that I read because, yeah, I just can't remember the title, but I think that that would be so helpful to have routine. And in that book, he also says to set a routine for days that are not typical. So maybe on a weekend, a Saturday doesn't have the same routine as a Monday. And so just making a list of things to do on that day is really good. Also, I totally got my numbers wrong. So there are 7, not 8. Next is to make time for people who are uplifting in your life. Like actually seek them out and be friends with them. And that will actually make less time for people who maybe aren't so helpful in your life or maybe on the more toxic side. There's going to be people in your life no matter what. And it's important to be able to like endure with other people. But it's so much better if you just carve out time for someone who can actually uplift you. And one way that I do that, and it's a very small, like achievable thing to do, is to text one person that you know and love every single week. So it doesn't have to be the same person, but just scroll through your list of contacts in your phone, pick one out of a hat, and just text them and say something really small, just one sentence. So that one sentence will actually turn into probably more of a conversation in the amount of times that I've done this with other people. It just kind of strengthens those bonds that I typically just let fall through the cracks. And before I know it, I won't have talked to someone for years and years, and it's just like, how in the world did that happen? So that's one thing that I'm trying to do that I think would be so good if you want to actually connect with uplifting people in your life, somebody that means a lot to you. And actually, I put that right in my calendar. So every Monday, I have it as an event that I need to do on my to-do list. And I keep all my to-do list things in my calendar, by the way. So every single time it reminds me with an alert to, hey, text somebody. And so then that just makes me have long-lasting friendships and makes me really put in the time to do that. That one little sentence might actually turn into, going out to see that person over coffee or anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth one is to only compare yourself to yourself. And what I mean by that is it's so easy to compare yourself to other people. But why I like to do yearly challenges for myself, whether it's with personal style or fitness or whatever it is because probably because of my only child roots, I love to set goals and, make them even better this year. And so what I try to do is I'll list out all of my goals for the year and I will actually categorize them and make them into things that I think I can achieve. And so by the end of the year, I've got like paragraphs of things that I've achieved this year that were better than last year. And I can read back on the paragraphs I've written for the past 3 years and think, wow, I'm so happy that I set goals for myself and I achieved it. And I feel like I'm better off in 2019 than I was in those past years. So the goal there is to just compare yourself to yourself. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. I think that I stopped being jealous of other people when I realized that one person that I actually was jealous of went through something so incredibly hard and just absolutely terrible. And so what that ended up meaning for me is if I'm going to actually be jealous of someone else, I have to be jealous of everything in their life. And nobody has it as good as someone else, in my opinion. I feel like if I'm going to be someone else, I have to kind of take on all that means, every single challenge that means as that person. So that just kind of freed me up from ever feeling jealous of anyone else. And I honestly just don't compare myself to anyone else anymore. And that has allowed me to just kind of race against myself. And that's my suggestion, is to just not compare yourself to other people. Next is to make a list of 5 things that matter most in your life and to focus on them throughout the entire year. So that would mean that I'm actually going to write down 5 things that matter to me, and then I'm going to carve out time in my day, every day, that makes that actually something that is a priority in my life. So that just allows those things to float to the top, and then everything else just kind of falls into place. If family is really important to you is a great example, because if that is true, then you're going to actually spend time, like quality time every day with family, or maybe family isn't close by. Maybe that's something that you would do with FaceTime, or just trying to get together more often, or maybe that means that in your budget you might have to make some adjustments. But that's just one example of what might be on your list of what is most important to you in your day. And then you're going to look back by the end of the year and realize that the top 5 things that mattered most to you, you can look back and see how much time and effort that you've invested into those things, and how much has flourished from that. So that's what I would definitely suggest for just trying to make this year so much better for you. And finally, my suggestion for how to make 2019 your year is to find joy. Actually seek out the things that bring you happiness and spend time in those. So it kind of goes along with the last one, where you're picking out things that matter most to your life and then investing in them. And hopefully those things bring you joy. But finding joy is something that I think is a choice. It's different than finding happiness. Happiness and joy aren't necessarily the same thing. Joy is something more that you have to invest in and choose to actually lean into and be is joyful. And that's just one thing that I would recommend, is trying to make priorities in your life, and also just trying to actually spend time on, maybe you need some quiet time in the morning, or whatever it is that really brings you joy and fulfillment. I would say to lean in on those things and just conquer your day with trying to seek out joy and choosing joy. And then if you find joy, then the other 6 or so, however many items were in this list, will actually be easier for you to actually achieve. And that is my advice for 2019. I hope it wasn't too mushy or anything. But I really had fun to talk with you today, to get back in this rhythm of posting again. I'm really looking forward to some things that are on my schedule coming up in 2019. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.